Hello everybody, this is Little Ninja, and welcome back to another episode of Ninja's Empire, where in between episodes I have been doing some work. The results for the poll are in, and arrows is what we decided on. And so I have been working on this tunnel. As far as the eye can see, it goes down past the bend, and it's probably about 3/4 of the way done, but I've been placing a ton of snow and ice blocks. So the other thing I've been doing is adding some details on the ship. And it's not finished yet, but if we can just run over there real quick, I'll show you what I've done so far. So in the last video, I had some pretty good suggestions. So I was trying to figure out what I should do to keep mobs from spawning on these sails, and I used redstone. I'd put redstone up there, and then somebody commented, just said, trapdoors. I mean, not trapdoors, carpets. So yeah. I replaced the redstone with carpets, and then I also did some work on the details. Let's see here. I did a little bit of work in the captain's cabin. It still feels kind of empty in here, like kind of big and barren, but I put some paintings in, and a bed, and a few chairs and stuff. And then this table with some stuff on it, 4 chairs around it, and some swords on the wall, so that he can grab and charge out the door for whatever reason. And then the other thing was that also that I saw in a comment, to change out the end rods for, that's odd, for levers. And this definitely fits much better with the whole style, like the old stone and wood. The only thing then is that we have to have a different light source in here, but it's fine. The torches, I just put them in there. And so yeah, that's what I've done on the ship. And I think I also built these. So this is like the brig that you get thrown in if you get too drunk. So yeah, today I want to work on a sort of storage room, separate from the main storage room over there. I want to build a sort of small building with special storage, because when AFK fishing, we get just tons of random enchantments, and I want a place to sort them. So like up here I have a whole bunch of just all these random enchantments, probably that I'm never going to use, but I think it's just cool to have them, just in case for whatever reason. So I'm going to build a sorting system, or not a sorting system. Well, I guess it is sort of a sorting system, but they have to be manually sorted, and put it in some sort of like a mage's tower or something. And I'll probably build it, it won't have to be that big, so I'll probably build it down here someplace, maybe right here in this area. Yeah, this looks like a good spot. It's nice and flat and open, and there's nothing here. So yeah, I'll have to come up with a design for a tower, and then we can start sorting all those enchanted books we have. Okay, so I figured out how to distribute or sort the books, and I also came up with a palette. And these logs represent the corners of the room. So the palette is obviously your classic spruce, and then we've got polished andesite, stone brick, and clay, and then this gray concrete, which are just a bunch of different grays, but I think they look really good together. So actually, what I think I want to do is have a second story. So have the bottom story be a little smaller, and the second story be the bigger room with all the books in it. So I'm going to have to double check my measurements here, and then figure out how much smaller I can make the bottom story, and then we can start building. Okay, so this is the size that the bottom story needs to be. Now, as far as design goes, I think for the bottom floor I might want to do like a pixel art or something in the floor. Probably use carpets for that. But so this would be the design. Actually, I think this should be 4 tall. I think that's about the right size. Yeah, and then everything is bordered with gray concrete. If we can, there we go, like so, and then have stone brick in between, just like that. So if we bring this all the way over here and fill this in, let's see if we can just finish this wall up quick and see how the wall looks. And we might have to put some windows in as well. Concrete there. Right, okay, now fill that in with brick and a few more. There. Yeah, I really like that. It looks like the building is old, but it's still like it's still well kept up or something. I don't know. Let's see. Windows, should they be flat like so, or do I want tall windows? I don't know. I'll have to build more of the building and see, compare them then. But yeah, that's the basic design of it. And then yeah, let me just build up the rest of the walls and we can start working the second story. Okay, so that's the bottom story in place. And windows, yeah, I'm still not sure. Like, okay, so that doesn't look right. It looks more like a jail. And this, yeah, that definitely doesn't look right. I think what maybe the best option here is to do slabs like so. I think that's about the right size for the windows. So I'm going to do windows like this around the bottom layer. And then I'm not quite sure what I want to use to get from the first story to the second story. I think maybe a slime block elevator or something would look cool. But this is the floor plan that I want in the top. And this is also why I wanted to do a pixel art at the bottom, because, well, like if I had done this floor plan in both floors, this is going to be the ceiling of the floor below, and so it would look kind of odd to have, the ceiling and the floor be the same design. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to go get more clay somewhere. I'm running out here. But this is going to be, yeah, the basic floor, and then there's going to be chests, 2 high, 7 on each side, and 4 at the end. And then the roof, I want to do a pretty pointy roof, something like the blacksmith, but out of stone probably. So yeah, let me build up the second story here, and then we can take a look at it once it's up. Okay, so the top story is taking shape. And I was playing around a little bit there with mirroring this design at the top. Let's see. And I decided to go with this entrance because like a staircase would take up too much room of the floor above, and a slime block launcher would take up too much room of the floor below. And I was thinking of doing a pixel art of a book in this floor, of an enchanted book. And without the faithful texture pack, which is what I use, it is 16 by 14, I think, pixels. So it's too big. I may still be able to build the book and just scale it down, but it's going to be a trick. I'll play around and see what I can do. So yeah, we've got the ladders here that come up, and then this is the chest layout. Yeah, and then you've got, well, this is just temporary, obviously, and I'm still working on the roof. I think, yeah, this definitely needs to be mirrored here. Do something like this, and then I think it might look good to actually start the roof like out from this. So start the roof here at this block, but I'm not sure yet. I'll have to play around with a little bit more and see. Whoops. Can we? Okay, let's just pretend that never happened. So as far as sorting the books goes, I made a little list of like all the enchantments and sorted them into their places. So there's 7 enchantments for a sword that are specific to a sword. I mean, you could put them on an axe as well, for like smite and sharpness, but I mean, they're mainly for a sword. And then you've got, let's see here, you've got 2 curses, 2 helmet specific enchantments, 2 boot specific enchantments, 4 bow specific, and 4 for armor. So like protection, fire protection, etc. And then you've got 3 for tools, which are Silk Touch, Fortune, and Efficiency. And then you've got your general enchantments that go on everything. So you've got Unbreaking and Mending. That's 2. And then you've got Fishing, Lure, and Luck of the Sea. So that's 30 enchantments total. And so this here is 30 chests plus these 4 here, which I'm going to use to store extra armor in, like the stuff we get from raiding the end. So these walls here, they're going to need some kind of texture, and I could do like a broken style, but yeah, they're not going to look good to have just solid stone brick. But the problem is, I don't want to do broken up to use mossy and cracked stone bricks, because I want to go for a pretty pristine look. Like I want the building to have an old, like to feel old, but to look very clean and like taken care of. Maybe what we could do is just put plain stone in here, see how that looks. Let's just fill in this wall and take a look from the outside. That might work. You know what? Yeah, that looks good. I thought also about putting like stairs in and doing a groove that goes across the wall, but I don't really think that will look good. So yeah, I think I'll go with that, just the plain stone in the middle to break it up. And I'll also put signs on all these chests to sort all the enchantments in. I wish I could use item frames, but I'm not really sure like that I could find it in like an item that would represent every enchantment. So yeah, I think I'll just stick with using signs, and I'll put them all on the chests, and then you can see a little better how the enchantments sort. Okay, I added the stone in all around, and it's really starting to look good. I really like that actually, and I put in a little bit of the roof up there, like where I said I thought it would go, and I'm not really sure. Like it should be down further. I'm not sure about that gap either. I think what I'm gonna do is put the whole roof on at that point and put some lighting up in the peak, and then the lighting will shine out through that gap. And if I don't like it, I'll bring the roof, like the edge of the roof, further down and fill in that gap somehow. Yeah, I also put in these little corners right here because it looks sort of odd to have a 90-degree angle there, and I think that looks much better. And then I put in these signs as well on the inside here. So they're sorted first by type of enchantment and then by alphabetically. So here you have the enchantments that are sword specific: Bane of Arthropods, Fire Aspect, etc., all the way down the line. And then here you have the armor enchantments, so there's 5 of those. And then here you have the 2 curses. Over here you have the general enchantments, Unbreaking and Mending. And then here you have, at the bottom, you've got your bow enchantments. There's 4 of those. And then over here your tools, there's 3 of those. And then here you've got fishing. There's 2 for the helmet and 3 for the boots. So that's everything. Now let's see here. Yeah, I've got to put on the roof and figure out the ceiling on the inside of this thing, and also the lighting, because I've had a couple zombies and 1 creeper spawn in here and nearly blew the building into pieces. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put the roof on and the lighting, and we'll see about this gap in the eave here. Okay, so already that gap is looking too big. I just put a few layers onto the roof, and yeah, that definitely needs to be filled in a little more. The other thing is the roof probably needs to come down further because, let's see. So the eave needs to hang out from the wall, right? But because this wall is angled out at this direct, like it angles out, right? So this is a straight line, which means the eave needs to come out even further than normal in order to look right. So I have an idea that just might look cool. Let's give it a shot here. Pillar up and do a little further. Okay, so the roof is going to curve up, right? So the bottom edge should be fairly flat. Maybe use half slabs like that, and then if I do this just like so and drop it down here at the eave, let's go over to the corner and complete this corner here. So just drop it down like that at the corner and then have it raised in the middle, something like that. How's that look? Let's get rid of our scaffolding here. We gotta stand back to see it properly. You can hardly tell. I think the very top row that I put on should be up further, so it curves up this way more. So yeah, I'll have to change that and then see how that looks. I think that could look cool with the corners hanging down, and then possibly even some upside down stairs here, like the 3 at the corner. Yeah, I'll play around with it and see what I can come up with, but make it look good and finish the roof here. Okay, so the roof is all done, and man, this is making me wish I had vertical half slabs, because it's an odd number, so we can't just have 1 in the middle, so it looks a bit like chunky at the top. But I like the curved edge of the eave. I think that looks pretty cool, and the gap too looks all right. Although I don't like being able to see all the way up into the peak, so I think on the interior I'm gonna have to put a ceiling in, so that the gap isn't as deep. And then on the outside, I used end rods here for lighting, just at the corners, to give just a little bit of light. Like there were mobs spawning on these blocks right here, and also on the roof. And then, well, like so over here, the roof looks just a little bit bland. Yeah, very, very big and like a big area of gray. Over here, I put the gray concrete in wherever the roof steps up, and I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to do it on the other sides as well. So on the interior, I haven't figured out lighting yet. I'm just using end rods of the floor for now. I'm going to have to do some kind of chandelier lighting, but once again, I ran into the problem with the even number of blocks. It makes like a lighting a lot harder. You know, you can't just hang a lantern in the middle of the room. It's off. So as far as like the ceiling up here, well, if I can just, let's see here, I might do, let's just go up here and see once. Okay, so you can see, and I think I might do here, do a ceiling like so, yeah, and then let's run outside quick and see how that looks. Yeah, that looks much better, not being able to see up in there, and then of course there will be light on the inside shining out through that gap. So that'll look good. So I got to put the ceiling in, and I got to figure out the lighting for the top floor, and then I got to finish up the details on the bottom floor, and then this building is pretty much done. Okay, so I put the ceiling in, and it definitely looks much better. And then I just added this extra ring for a little bit of depth because it looked very flat and odd. And now I replaced the end rods with torches because I think torches fit the theme of the build better. And the end rods are purple. I don't like purple. But there's a problem. Right here in the middle of the floor, there are 4 blocks that are spawnable, and I think I could fix that by moving a torch like to here, but yeah, that wouldn't really look right. So I might have to do like a throw rug or something in the middle of the floor here. And there are several other details that this room could definitely use, perhaps like an enchanting table, and not to mention I have to actually get all the enchanted books that I have and bring them up here and sort them into their appropriate chests. And then of course this room down here still needs to be done on the interior yet, but unfortunately I am all out of time for today, so I'm probably going to just go ahead and finish the build, do little details in between episodes. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.